high content creators. Here are 15 Davinci Resolve tips that you might not know. Leave a comment if these tips are useful. The last 4 tips are goodies, so stick around to the end. If you're in your timeline, you can duplicate transitions, audio, clips, and images. Simply hold Alt and drag your clip up or down or left and right. So you recorded yourself and want that shake effect. This is how to do it. It is very easy. Just drag the camera shake effect onto your footage and play with the settings until you get your desired effect. Look, especially at the motion scale, speed scale, amplitude, and the randomness to get that desired look. Rulers or guidelines work a little differently in Davinci. In the Edit tab, you can select the clip and search for Grid under Open Effects. Now simply drag and drop it on the clip and there is your grid. You can change the settings here on the right. Let's play around with these settings. Okay, I like this. Now this is useful, but what if you want the grid lines to show on all clips? Simply go to Effects and search for the adjustment layer. Now drop the grid effect on the adjustment layer and expand it to wherever you want. Just remember to disable the grid when you are done if you want to. Now in the Fusion tab, you can also add guides. Simply right-click the clip, go to Guides and select Show Guides. You can also use the shortcut Control on Windows, Command on Mac, plus G. Make your transitions look a little bit better by selecting your transitions. Going to Transition on the right and go to the Ease option and select In and Out. And as you can see, there is a slight curve. Not all transitions will have this option because it might be a Fusion transition, but if they do, use this to make it smoother. Now, you can select that transition and right-click and select Create Transition Template. Give it a name and it will be in the Video Transition Library under User. Do you want to add that cinematic black letterbox to your videos? Well, in Davinci Resolve, it is very easy. Go to the Timeline menu and at the bottom, select Output Blanking. I usually go with 2. Now you have this cool cinematic letterbox. Do you know all the tips so far? Drop a comment below if these tips are useful. Now, one thing that can get annoying is when you do intense editing that can cause your Resolve to either crash or run extremely slow, especially when I edit in 4K and Full HD or using a lot of graphics. One of my favorite graphic packs are from MotionCan and it contains awesome titles, backgrounds, transitions, and more. There is a link in the description if you want to check it out. Anyway, if your Davinci runs slow, this might help. First, go to Playback and Timeline Proxy Resolution, and here you can select half or quarter. Note, you need to remember to change the settings back to full before rendering. The other thing you can do is go to Davinci Resolve and Preferences, and then under UI Settings, User, you can untick the stop renders when a frame or clip cannot be processed. I have not experienced any issues, but it helps. Now sometimes you might be dealing with a lot of images and clips, and now you are looking for a specific clip. This can waste a lot of time. Go to Davinci Resolve Preferences and under Editing, tick this option. Always highlight Current Clip in the Media Pool. Pretty useful, right? This will make your editing easier. Adjustment clips are awesome and I use them all the time. With adjustment clips, you can easily create cool effects and even use it for color correction. Simply search for adjustment clip under Effects and drag it above your clip and make any changes you want. You can also make this adjustment clip as long as you want. The clips beneath the adjustment clips will stay untouched. We all had this before with a complex project. You work like a boss and somehow make a mistake and only realize it later. The history might work, but if you go back, it will undo all the work you already did. That sucks. But you need a partner, and that partner is Davinci Resolve, which has been backing up your timeline all along. Here under Preferences, you will see it. Davinci Resolve 18.5 and 18.6 will have this on by default. So you can right-click on your timeline and select Restore Timeline Backup, and you will have a few options here. Davinci Resolve will also create a backup of that timeline so you can use bits and pieces you lost during your editing. If you want more backups, you can just adjust your settings. I don't know if you have heard of this feature, but when color grading, the lightbox can be very useful. When you are in the color tab, you can access the lightbox on the top right section. As you can see, you have a full overview of your timeline, and you can adjust the settings depending on your desired real estate. Now, when you select a clip and exit the lightbox, you will be in that clip. Another cool feature is that if you have this button enabled, make sure selected clips are the default. Now go back to Lightbox and you can select multiple clips. When you exit, you now have a view of your selected clips. If you are a content creator and using a lot of occurring elements in different projects, Power Bins will save you time. In the edit page, go to the top where you see the 3 dots. Click on that and make sure Power Bins are selected. I would also recommend selecting Smart Bins. Now down on the left, you can select Power Bins and Master and create folders like intro, music, and images, whatever you use. Now when you open a new project, you will have these available under Power Bins. Here is a neat trick. You can import only video or audio, even if the clip has both video and audio. Let me show you what I mean. Make sure you have your source viewer open. You can open it here. Double-click your clip in the media pool. Now, as you can see here, there are 2 icons, one for video and one for audio. If you only want the audio of that video, you can just click and hold on the audio icon and drag it into your timeline. Now, a cool bonus is you can drag the video from the source viewer into the timeline clip on the right, and you have a few options here. Say you did not make a cut in your timeline, you can simply drag and select Insert, and boom, look at that. There is a way to check what your clips will look like on a different screen, and you can add safe zones to keep everything intact. In the Cut tab, you can go here on the top right, and you can get different resolutions. If you go here, there are also safe zones. Simply click it, and you will see the safe zones appear over your footage. Pretty handy. If you want to post more shorts using long-form video, instead of just changing the project settings, create a new timeline and untick Use Project Settings and choose the desired resolution. Now, if your subject is stationary, it is easy to just move the video into the right frame, but if the subject is moving, the subject might be cut off. So select your video and change the resolution. So instead of keyframing, you can simply use Smart Reframe, and Davinci Resolve will keep your subject in the frame. If you love to color code your clips for reference purposes in the timeline, you will love this feature. Imagine you want to make batch changes to specific clips with a color. Well, you can do that. Select your color clip, and under the timeline, you will see the select clip with clip color. Now select your color, in this case orange, and it will select all clips in the timeline with the color orange. Now you don't have to select them manually to make changes. I hope these tips help. I will see you guys in the next one. Here are more tutorials.